Hey, it's Mr. Burns. I'm going over the Unit 3 quiz that you took recently, Roots of Democracy vocab and some of the basics on the founding documents. And hopefully you're doing this to prepare for your Unit 3 test that's coming up very soon. Okay, so looking at the average 141 responses, there's still a few people who haven't taken it, but here we go. Pretty good, pretty solid. A couple questions that were tougher ones. Let's look at. Okay, number one, you guys did really well with with most of the vocab questions. You can see 98% got number one, 97% number two, and so on. Number four was a little bit of a tough one here, and the difference between some of these terms. Amend means, when you think of an amend, you think of an amendment, and an amendment is an addition or a change to the Constitution by adding something, by adding an amendment. So that's what it means to amend. Yeah, number 5 was pretty good, 93, almost 94%. Number 6 was great. Number 7 was great as well. Number 8, everyone got right. Number 9 was a little bit of a tough one here. So a law formally created by a government. Remember, an amendment is a change to the document, whereas a new law that's created, we talked about the statute, bless you, of religious freedom that was created by Thomas Jefferson. And that's a formal law. Okay. All right. Number 10, pretty solid on 115 out of 141. Pretty good. Remember this idea, the Magna Carta, this document that was written way back in 1215. And the idea that the king is subject to the law was new way back then. The king, formally could do whatever they wanted, and it depended on how their personality was, whether they treated their people nicely or whether they treated their people abusively. And the king at the time was forced to sign this document because of some rebel landowners that revolted against him. Okay, so it's the Magna Carta. Everyone, including the king, is subject to the law. Rule of law is established. Pretty solid at number 11, 85.1%. Maybe you got Declaration of Rights, Declaration of Independence confused a little bit, but model for the Bill of Rights, the Declaration of Rights. That's how you remember that one. Number 12, again, pretty good, although I think this one should have been a little bit higher. It says separation of church and state, and it says religious freedom right here. You think church, you think religion. Number 13 was a little bit lower than what I had hoped. The charters of the Virginia Company of London. Remember when the Jamestown settlement was established, they wanted to ensure that their rights as Englishmen were preserved in the New World. So they create this document, which is also a business venture, but also has some political rights involved. All right, number 14, I'm going to go over to this document to show you number 14. And the correct answers to this one are the second one, the third one, the fifth, and the sixth. So Declaration of Independence, grievances against the king, that's what it is. It's an argument, it's a complaint about how they're being treated. All affirm the idea that all people are created equal, even though it said all men are created equal. Declared colonies independence, Declaration of Independence, and then unalienable rights of life, liberty, pursuit of happiness. Okay. Those are the 4 things. It was directly from an exit ticket. We reviewed it before the quiz. Here it is. Okay. So that one was 89 out of that was a little bit lower, and then 87 on this one. These are the 2 biggest tough ones, okay, which I expected. Okay, 4 true about the Articles of Confederation. Okay, with the Articles of Confederation, number 15. That's going to be your first 2 and your bottom 2. Okay, power was in the states, so therefore they had a weak central government with very little power and didn't really unite the colonies or the states under a government. Okay, first form of government was their first shot. They failed. They replaced it with the Constitution. Okay, which is the last one. All right, I had fun with this one, number 16 here. Kind of fun because it was a little different type of question here. So I had to cover the board for this one. So first one was signed was the Declaration of Independence. We did the warm up right before the quiz. Then we had the Articles of Confederation. Most of you got that right. Pretty good on this one. U.S. Constitution's third, because that replaces the Articles of Confederation, our first government, right? And then later we add the Bill of Rights. You can see that most of you got, did pretty well in this. Each one was over 88%, so that's pretty good. All right, the last question is number 17. 90% got it right. Again, this was one that we did right on the warm-up, right before the quiz. What was a major change? We talked that the national government of the Constitution had 3 branches, whereas in the Articles it only had a legislative branch, 1 branch. Okay? This one right here was true about the Articles, not about the Constitution. This one, no. No, this would be Britain's government, or some kind of totalitarian government. That's not true of the Constitution. All right, so hopefully this helped you in your review. There's also 2 optional Google drawings that you can do, and check your answers on Blackboard when you're done. And hopefully those will help you, and maybe you'll see a little bit of help come your way in terms of grades. We'll see. All right, hopefully you do better on the test than your classmates, because you chose to do this. All right, signing out. Have a great day.